Hello students, this is Mr. Dowd again, and I want to show you how to use the feature called My Maps. This is a new Google feature. Well, how new it is, I'm not sure, but it's new to me since last year for sure. What we're going to do is we're going to take those last three assignments that we've done in the Google Classroom, the ones about Europeans exploring America, about America's first people, and about Africans brought to America as slaves. We're going to combine what we learned in those three lessons into a map. And we're going to use this new tool in Google My Maps to do it. And I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration of the tools that are in My Maps. So in the Google Classroom, there will be a link in this lesson for My Maps. And when you click it, it's going to show up here at this page. Now you can see I've already been playing around with this app and I've got a few maps that are in here. But what you're going to do is create a new map. So I'm going to do that too. Click right here. And it's going to open up with, and in this case, mine opened up in the picture of the North America. And what I am going to do is scroll out so I can see the rest of the world. And I want to scroll out in particular because my job is to show where did the different groups of people that came to America come from. And I want to answer the question, why did those groups come to America? And what I need, of course, is to show the different continents that those groups came from. And so the first Americans, our best evidence shows they probably came from Asia, and then Europeans came from Europe, and then when African slaves were forced to come, they came from the continent of Africa. And if you're saying, yeah, but the Asian continent extends over here, then you can certainly move your map to show different parts of the world like that. Now, what I am also going to show you on the right here are the tools that we have. I'm sorry, not the right, the left. The untitled map, what I would like you to do is title the map with your name. In this case, I will put, and then I'm going to add a number. If you are in fourth period, please put a 4. If you are in 6th period, put a 6. Obviously, if you're in 8th period, put an 8. And then under the description, again, you can just add my map assignment. My map assignment showing the 3 groups that came to America. Now, I also want to go back and re-emphasize something. When I say the 3 groups, I'm talking about very broad groups of people. People that were on a particular continent. Now, each one of the continents easily has hundreds of groups of people, different cultures, different languages, different countries. Back in those days, different kingdoms, different empires. The exception to this would be Antarctica. That is a continent that did not have hundreds and hundreds of cultures. Now, I'm done. I'll save. And now I've got my title and my description. And then I have some tools in here. And the first thing you'll notice, it says untitled layer. And what they mean by layer is they have put like imagine a clear sheet of plastic that you can write on or add pictures to, and that is what is covering the map. So we're not actually going to change anything in Google Maps. We've got a clear overlay or layer to work on, and we can add all kinds of stuff, and that stuff is up here. We can draw a line, and what the lines are is we can add a path. So we can add a walking route, biking route, driving route. And if we ask ourselves, did anybody walk from Europe to America? Did they drive from Europe to America? The answer is, of course, no. So we're just going to draw a line. And when we do that, here, for instance, is a line, and they do a bendy line. Oh, look, there's another line. So what I did was I forgot to double click to end it. Now, if I go, whoops, I made a mistake, it's very easy. I can just hit the delete key and it all goes away. And you'll notice that I zoomed in. I can zoom back out again. It's easy to do. And so I want to draw a line that shows the path that each of these groups took to get to the Americas. And so again, if I go from Europe, and again, we're talking broad continent-based groups, so I could start in any of these European countries and have it be from Europe. If we look at the history we've looked at, for instance, Columbus, I might just start in Spain. Or if we read that article on Henry the Navigator, one of the first people to figure out how you could sail by using the position of the stars, and he was one of the first to go out in open ocean and found his way around Africa. You could start in Portugal. But really what's important is that you would start from Europe and then you would go to the Americas. And so if I was going to start by drawing a line, well, actually, where I might want to start is here, adding a marker. And I would just put a marker right here. And I would then add, what is this marker about? And this would be Europeans' path to America. And I could give it a further description if I wanted to. And then if I save it, now I can have a starting point for my line. And I am going to then start right there and draw my line. And if I remember, Columbus first landed on Hispaniola, right in here in the Caribbean somewhere. Oops, and I forgot to double click it there. And I can call this there we go. And I can add more details here if I want to. Europeans' path to America. Now you'll notice I have some tools here. And one of the things on the rubric is to keep your colors separate for each of the groups of people that came to America. So I might very well decide I want my Europeans to be red, in which case I can go and find, whoops, a red color that suits me, and I've changed that path to red now. And I can close that, and then if I want to go back to my marker and say, well, this should match my path, I can make it the same color. My marker now matches my path. And then I can go click on my path again, and I can say, you know, so Europeans didn't just go to the Caribbean. They were also found eventually in North America. Oops. And I'm going to also make this match. And then, of course, there's other places you found them. And you can stretch lines, obviously not every single place, but you can give an image of the different places Europeans went to that are according to your research. And then please do the same with the other groups. Now, once you've done that, you also need to add some more information. Go back to your marker, and this is a place where you can add images and you can add some text. So if I'm going to add an image, I will go up here. And now, if I don't have files already in my computer or my Google Drive that I can input, then I need to get them from the internet. And I can go to, and since I don't, my Chromebook, for instance, or my laptop has a web camera, but that would just take a picture of me or something in the classroom. That wouldn't help. Where it says image URL, that lets me put in the address of an image on the internet. And this is what I want you to use because it's going to be an easy way to find and gather images. So I need to go and open a tab, Google Images. Now, if you remember, we do have to be careful of copyright because these maps are going to be online. So I'm going to search. I'll just do European colonization. It's a good one, and I'll click it. And I've got a bunch of stuff I can choose from. But again, we're going to go to Settings, Advanced Search, and we're going to go down and make sure that we are filtering it so that we have permission to use it. And then I'll do an advanced search. Well, now my images have been somewhat curtailed. There's fewer of them because these are the ones I have the rights to do pretty much whatever I want with. So I'm going to select an image, and when it opens up in the window, I'm going to right-click, or if you're in a Chromebook, you are going to use the function key and click with the mouse, and it's going to open up a menu like this. And I'm going to not copy the image, copy image address. I'll click that, and then I can go back to my map. I can paste in that image address, double check and verify that's the image. It is, and then I will select, and that image will appear, and you'll notice it's cut off. Once you're done adding your caption, then you will get to see the whole thing. So type in. So once you've typed in your caption, you can move on to the next group. So that is basically how you use the tools, at least the tools that we're going to use today in My Maps. While we're here, I will call your attention to one other thing. This is also in the Google Classroom, and it is just the rubric and the instructions. And so you will see that if you're going to meet the standard, if you're going to get a 3 at least on this assignment, these are all the things that you need to have in there. For instance, the captions, at least 3 sentences that explains why these people came to America. You'll notice it's a little bit different for the 4. And again, you guys can read these and determine what is the score that you want to get. So that is My Maps, and I look forward to seeing what you produce. Good luck. Have fun. Bye-bye.